Hello to the people out there.
Molly Rantin.
I am going to do a project this summer. I have been collecting a bunch of little ideas from Tumblr for the longest time. They're all in my bookmarks. You know, you've got your recipes, your craft ideas, your fun date ideas and stuff like that. Every week I am going to take on one thing from the list at random and just try to tackle it. So the random thing that I picked today is the OTP pendant, which is basically where you print out a fan fiction of your favorite pairing, and then you cut it out and put it on a charm so that you can wear it as a necklace, which is a little ridiculous, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So today we are going to talk about the practice of shipping real life people, and I am going to attempt to make this pendant. So we start out with a coin. I have a Canadian quarter. I printed out something cute that Matt sent me once, and I'm going to put my coin on it. So then we're just gonna cut around it and get that little part of my coin. I'm a klutz, so this is going to be a ridiculous summer. So Matt and I are known as Kinsloo, which I explained in an earlier video is a mashup of our nicknames. So it's kind of a weird practice. Shipping in general is kind of a weird practice. People get really, really into it to the point where they will not accept it if someone says that two characters can't be together at all. I mean, it's not that weird to want characters to be together, but it's weird when you shame other people for their pairings because it messes with whatever fictional pairing you have in your head. The shipping of real people then can be a little bit dangerous because you're not just talking about two people who don't exist and will not be affected by your shipping prowess. If you are real life shipping, you're talking about real people with real feelings, and your shipping then is more likely to become real, which can be really problematic. So once you sort of have this rough thing around your coin, you want to glue it to the paper. So technically the instructions call for use of clear glue. I am using hot glue because it is clear. It is what I had available to me, so it made sense to use. The thing about Kinsloo is that we don't take the idea of shipping ourselves that seriously. But a lot of people do take this practice way too seriously. People tend to ship Charlie is so cool with Alex Day, or Amazing Phil with Dan is Not on Fire. When it's definitely and clearly a joke, it's not a big problem, but when people get really, really into it, it becomes a pretty big problem. So one of the biggest problems with shipping in general is when some other pairing comes in the way of your ship. You want two people to be together, but then one of those two people is with someone else and they're not into polyamory. That becomes a problem, especially in real life shipping. It causes people to feel really antagonistic to actual people for getting in front of their actual ships. So something I already want to recommend. Hot glue is a terrible craft glue, honestly. Go out and, if you have the money, pay for the clear craft glue because it's probably quite worth it. The next step is to just even out this paper. So one of the worst things that comes into play is when you've got slash shippers. They can be absolutely horrible, especially when it comes to real life things. Certainly there's a lot of legitimate reasons for people shipping slash. One of the things that does tend to happen is that people who ship slash are fetishizing homosexuality, where they're just oh, they're gay guys are so cute, they're just so different from us, and it's so great that they're so different, and it becomes really problematic in general. when one of the members of your /OTP gets involved with someone of another gender, people get especially annoyed with that person of the other gender, especially if that person happens to be a woman, because there's a lot of misogyny involved in /shipping, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So when this happens in real life especially, I mean, there's already a problem with female characters being demonized for being in relationships with people they like. But when you get into real life situations, it's even worse, because you're talking about an actual person who has done nothing wrong except get involved with another person. So this is a massive, massive problem in shipping. So I don't actually recommend shipping people in real life. It's pretty weird, and I would say not technically healthy. Now, when it comes to Matt and I, it's more us making fun of that culture. I mean, we did meet on Tumblr. We are very internet savvy kind of people. It's the kind of humor that we find fun. If some people happen to ship, say, Ramallard, which is my sister's ship name for myself and my best friend is like super straight, but it's, you know, we're a pretty adorable couple. Ian is giving me the most hilarious look right now.
That is the best. Yes, that's the best. Yeah.
Or if they happen to ship Molly Ryan, because let's face it, we'd be a pretty adorable couple too. It's not going to get in the way of our Kinsler ship, because people don't take it seriously. But the thing about real life shipping is that a lot of people take it seriously, and that's where the problems come into play. So the next step is to take a little bit of glue and then put it on your coin and then spread it over the coin. Here's a great craft tip for you guys. Don't use hot glue. It does not spread well. After the glue's dried, what you want to do is add a thick layer of glue over the coin so that it basically acts as an acrylic, and then it looks more pendant-like. Okay, tip of the day. Hot glue doesn't work. Don't use it. It gets, I mean, for one thing, it's hot. It can burn you, as it turns out, and it definitely burned me. It also does not spread well, does not really make a very good acrylic because of this, and you will end up with a complete mess. So I will probably try this again someday using actual clear glue, but my finished product will not be happening today. That, I guess, was my craft. It did not go particularly well. You will notice something about me. I am not a hands-on person. I will probably fail most of the things I try to make on this channel. I think this is a sign that you shouldn't ship people in real life. I'm going to take it as a sign that you shouldn't ship people in real life. Everyone, don't ship people in real life. That's my final thought. I'm Molly Rantin, and this was my craft. Toodles!